Welcome to another edition of Around the Table with Stacy Smith as we take a look at the economy and investing. The last time we met, just a couple of weeks ago, with everything happening in the world, I questioned whether investors should be cautious because the markets had dipped down to the lowest level since May. I said there could be a bear lurking in the woods. Well, this is probably a good reason why I don't place football bets, because beginning that day, investors threw caution to the wind and began buying. So much so that in the past 2 weeks, the NASDAQ is up 9% and the S&P 500 is up 7%. Again, that's just in 2 weeks. We're going to take a look at the markets and whether the surge is broad-based, and we'll also talk about some basics such as a portfolio mix, what might be a good one for you, and also earnings and revenues as we go around the table. And to go around the table, I'd like to introduce you to my panel of advisors and financial analysts, and they are, with a prime seat at the table, Carrie Coghill. Carrie is the president and CEO of Coghill Investment Strategies, which is headquartered here in Pittsburgh. Carrie has been recognized by Forbes as one of the top women wealth advisors in the country. Also seated at the table is Frank Rossetti. Frank is managing director of HF Management Company, which is part of an alternative asset partnership. Now, Frank's background includes 50 years in the investing field, and he helped to establish Harvest Financial here in Pittsburgh, where he was the executive chairman. Across the table, we find Kim Forrest. Kim is the chief investment officer and the founder of Boca Capital Partners. Kim has a dual background in both finance and software engineering, and you may have seen Kim in her many appearances on Fox Business News, on CNBC, and also on Bloomberg. And there is one more seat at the table, and that is where we find Michael Godwin. He is with Fregasso Advisors. Michael has a solid career in investing and is the chief investment officer for Fregasso Financial Advisors. And again, this year, I should note that Fregasso Advisors is listed among the Barron's National Top 100 Independent Investors. So thanks so much for joining us again. And let's go ahead and get into our subject matter here. As I mentioned, the markets have been surging ahead. So, Carrie, it begs the question, why? Just 2 weeks ago, as I mentioned, the markets were at their lowest level since May. So what turned the tables?
The million-dollar question, right? Why? You know, it's very hard to pinpoint exactly why, but let me give you some reasons. Over the last few weeks, we have started to experience mortgage rates coming down, which is a positive for the economy because we know that housing has a multiplier effect on people spending money. So that's a good thing. We've also seen a decline in energy prices, which goes straight into the consumer's pocket. The Federal Reserve has kind of, it depends what day of the week you're listening to someone speak. And, the comments of Jerome Powell at the last meeting and, was it hawkish? Was it not? Are interest rates going up? There are a lot of people that feel that he's not going to be raising rates, but yet he's still saying that maybe he will. But I think the market is kind of really thinking about the fact that rates aren't going to go up and that the inflation data, which we will be getting actually this week, should continue to subside. So that would be a good thing as far as rates not continuing to go up. We've also had, earnings, and that causes volatility in the markets. The interesting thing about this time of year